I was pouring myself a glass of water when my phone buzzed. A single message. 10 words that ripped through 12 years of marriage. I'm leaving you and moving to Miami with my 20-year-old babe. I've already emptied our joint account, haha. For a second, the glass trembled in my hand. I didn't cry, I didn't scream. I typed 2 words back. Good luck. And then I set the glass down and smiled. We weren't always like this. When I met Daniel, he was charming, ambitious, magnetic. He kissed my hand on our first date, told me I had eyes that could disarm any man. I believed him. For years, I believed everything. We built a life together, a house with pale blue shutters, a joint savings account, Sunday rituals of coffee and crossword puzzles. He held my hand in hospital waiting rooms, whispered promises of forever in the dark. But forever had an expiration date. I just didn't see it coming. The signs were there, of course. Late nights at the office, sudden gym memberships, new shirts with the tags still on, bought from stores he used to mock for being too flashy. Then came the smell, perfume that wasn't mine, sweet, juvenile. When I confronted him, he laughed. "You're imagining things, babe. Don't get paranoid." But I wasn't paranoid. I was preparing. The night I found his second phone, shoved carelessly in the pocket of his jacket, everything snapped into focus. Messages, photos, flights booked under fake names. He wasn't just cheating, he was building a new life. I scrolled through their conversations. Her name was Kayla. She was 20, a college dropout who called him daddy without irony. He promised her Miami. He promised her my money. That was the night my grief hardened into something sharper. I stopped being his wife. I became his reckoning. He thought he was clever, draining our joint account. What he didn't know was that months earlier, when the first lies slipped through his teeth, I moved most of the real money. I created new accounts in my name alone, funneled every cent of my salary, every hidden investment, every inheritance into safekeeping. What was left in our account was pocket change, enough to keep him thinking he was winning. I also spoke to a lawyer, quietly, meticulous as a surgeon. The house? In my name. The business he registered under my credit years ago? Mine. The debts he racked up on late-night gambling apps? Also mine, but with evidence tying back to him. By the time his text arrived, Daniel had nothing but an illusion. He called 3 days later. His tone was casual, almost cocky. "So, you took it well," he said. "Thought you'd freak out." I kept my voice steady. "Why would I? You deserve to be happy." He chuckled, relieved. He thought I was weak. A week later, I sent him a document to sign. Divorce papers, wrapped neatly with a bow. He didn't read them. Of course he didn't. He signed where I highlighted. He thought I was eager to let him go. What he really signed was the transfer of his remaining assets. The car, the condo in his brother's name, the business shares he assumed were safe. Piece by piece, he was handing me everything. The climax came in Miami. He called me again, but this time there was no arrogance in his voice. "They won't let me access the account," he said, panic bleeding through the phone. "Where's the money?" I pictured him, sweating in some cheap Airbnb, Kayla draped across the bed, scrolling through Instagram. He thought he had outsmarted me, but the walls were closing in. "The money?" I repeated calmly. "You mean my money?" Silence. "You signed it over, Daniel. Every last cent. You didn't even read the papers." He cursed, screamed, threatened. I let him. Then I said the words I'd been saving. "You left me by text. Do you really think I'd let you walk away with anything more than that?" I imagined the look on his face as it sank in. The realization that his fresh start was nothing but ashes. That his young lover, so enamored with luxury, would vanish the moment the cash ran dry. And me? I was untouchable. The accounts were mine, the house was mine, his debts were his alone. I could almost hear the walls of his Miami fantasy collapsing, one brick at a time. The funny thing about betrayal is that it doesn't destroy you, it forges you. I don't mourn the man who texted me his goodbye. That man was a coward, a parasite, a fool who underestimated the woman he thought he could discard. I only mourn the version of myself that once believed him. But she's gone now, and what stands in her place is stronger, colder, free. When people ask why I seem so calm these days, I just smile. They'll never know the storm I walked through, or the quiet satisfaction of knowing that while he's drowning in debts and broken promises, I'm here, alive, whole, and unshaken. In the end, Daniel gave me the greatest gift he could, a clean slate, written in his downfall. And all it cost me was 2 words: good luck.